Talking Shirts is presented in partnership with White Oak Cottage. For more information, visit whiteoakcottage.co.uk.
Hello and welcome to episode number 104 of Talking Shirts. I'm Mike from Hull Car Shirts, and here we are today looking at the 2016 home shirt. Now, if you watched episode number 103 where we looked at Mikey Lewis's 2023 home shirt, you may have noticed that I started the video talking about the shirt and how people's opinions of it may have changed due to on-field successes or on-field failures. Now, this one falls into the exact same category for the complete opposite reasons. Now, everybody knows what happened during that 2016 season and how we were so close to staying in the Super League, how we probably should have never been relegated, but we found ourselves in the £1 million game and on the end of defeat and relegation back down to the Kingston Press Championship for the first time in 10 years. Now, I feel that has quite a lot of people thinking negative things about this shirt. This shirt is probably one of the best remakes of a white shirt with a red band that we have done in the modern era. But people don't fully appreciate it purely because of what happened in 2016, in my opinion. Anyway, let's take a look around it. So we've got the all-white shirt, we have got that red band that does actually continue onto the back, but not in the sense of continuing all the way around the back. More about that later. We've got IRS, long-standing sponsors of the club, even to this very day. We've got Malcolm West forklifts, we have got Feta, which is the manufacturer maker marker, and then we have got the Hull Kingston Rovers club crest. The front of shirt sponsor was Brian Alfred, and their branding are featured in white in the red band, which made it very pleasing on the eye. We have got three sort of rows here of gel grips, which feature down the left and the right of the shirt as facing. And these have kind of discoloured a little bit, and I think this is from the shirt maybe being folded in on itself, where some of these ones that are in the white have gone a little bit pinky and a little bit red. We have got a red V-neck collar with a substantial amount of reinforced stitching in there. Almost looks a little bit like a cross in terms of how that has been applied to the shirt. We will take a look at this left sleeve as wearing first, and as you can see, we have got Outbox that has been dye sublimated into the shirt, and then we have got the Kingston Press cider patch. So this was a competition wide sponsor. It did actually feature on Super League shirts for a couple of years. You can actually see that this one has been quite well worn. It's faded quite a bit, and you can also see a line in here which has caused a little bit of damage to the shirt. And what that is when this gets pressed, if you look directly underneath here, you have got this row of stitching where the fabric meets, and because nothing's been put in the middle of it to protect it, it has actually damaged the patch a little bit. But that is something that is quite frequent across a lot of heat applied patches across all sports shirts, and not just necessarily Hull KR. As we take a look around at this right sleeve, you will see that we have got Yorkshire Staffing Services that has also been dye sublimated into the shirt, and then underneath we have got the First Utility Super League competition patch. Now, feeling this, there is at least one more under there. You can see where it's kind of cracked in this top corner here, and it is starting to peel a little bit. I will pop a picture up of that so you can see it. But yeah, it's really, really interesting to have a close look at how these have been sort of applied. We've got that same damage going through the middle. Lo and behold, we have also got another stitching contact point underneath. So again, that is probably why that has left that damage and that mark going through the middle of that patch. Each of these cuffs also has a red cuff as well on the edge of there on both sleeves. Nice little touch just to finish and break up the quantity of white that does feature across the 2016 home shirt. So before we have a look around and talk about the back of the shirt, here is a quick word from our sponsor.
White Oak Cottage is a 2-bedroom luxury holiday cottage set in the stunning Lincolnshire Wolds. It has 2 ensuite bedrooms, a hot tub, wood burner, Wi-Fi, electric vehicle charger, and is pet friendly. It is ideally situated in the Wolds, yet only 15 miles from the coast and 25 miles from the historic city of Lincoln. For more information, visit whiteoakcottage.co.uk.
welcome back to episode number 104 of Talking Shirts. Before the break, we was taking a look around the 2016 home shirt, and if you didn't notice it in the description, you can now see it. But this shirt was worn by Terry Campese. The back of the shirt here, as I said in the first part very briefly, the red band does continue onto the back of the shirt, but it doesn't continue all the way around. And that has had to break so we can get Campese and squad number 32 heat applied in the middle there. A lot of this comes down to the laws of the game and ensuring that a referee and supporters are able to clearly distinguish which player is who by the name and or number on the back of the shirt. We have got Joinery Depot, that has been dye sublimated into the shirt, as has the Aspire Academy, and also Hull College Group branding at the bottom there. In the middle of all of this, we've got Campese and squad number 32. Sadly, during the 2016 season, Roger Millward passed away. Terry Campese didn't start the season as squad number 32, he started as squad number 6. The decision was made to retire the number 6 shirt with immediate effect in honour and in tribute to Roger Millward and everything that he achieved during a glittering career with Hull KR. That meant that, as I've just said, Campese moved from squad number 6 to squad number 32, so he did actually have 2 different squad numbers during that 2016 season. This is probably the only example that I can think of and that I know of this actually happening, where one player had 2 different squad numbers during the same season. At Hull KR anyway. One thing that I find really sort of special about this shirt is you can actually see the footprint of the number 6 underneath. Now you might not be able to see it directly on the camera, but I will pop some pictures up where hopefully I can get it in the right lighting where you can actually see the footprint of the number 6 underneath. So this shirt here has the potential to have been the last number 6 shirt that had been worn by a Hull KR player. Now, it's quite sad that it hasn't still got the number 6 on it, and that potentially is gone forever in terms of kit history. But this is probably a close second best. Now, out there somewhere, there might be a shirt with Campese and number 6 on that he did actually wear during the 2016 season, whether that be a home shirt or an away shirt. But yeah, as I've said, this one does have the number 32 on, but it's still a very, very special shirt for me to add within my collection. I spoke about uniquities in the last episode where we spoke about the Golden Robin on Mikey Lewis's shirt. And this is another one of these uniquities where you look at it and you think, yeah, you know, that's something special, it's something different. And as a kit collector, kit fan, kit enthusiast, that is really special to me to be able to have something as unique as this within my collection. There's a little bit of damage going on to this stitching up here, where you can kind of see where it's starting to fray. Terry Campese was rumoured to play rugby league in a dinner suit, but the way that the shirt has some damage on, it does actually look like he might have been pulled around just a little bit. There's a little bit of blue paint or something here which has probably come off the grass on a pitch somewhere during the time that Campese wore this game. When Campese wore this shirt during a game. Looking through the stats for the 2016 season, and Campese, he only actually made 9 appearances. 8 of those were starts, and then 1 of them was off the bench. He played the last 4 games of the season, and he didn't make his first appearance until round 10. So you can tell how frustrating of a season Terry will have had during that 2016 campaign, and for it to end how it did, it must have been an absolute nightmare for him and for obviously the supporters of Hull KR. Campese itself, he came to the club with a very good reputation from the NRL. He did actually make 1 appearance for Australia in 2008 during the World Cup. Sadly, he didn't complete that game due to sustaining an eye injury, which then ruled him out for the remainder of the tournament as well. So yeah, he's kind of been plagued by injury through a lot of his career, and that was something that did happen to him a couple of times whilst he was at the Canberra Raiders as well. But whenever this guy was on the pitch and whenever he was firing and whenever he was fully fit, it was absolutely amazing. I can remember his first appearance against Hull FC at the KCOM Stadium in 2015. He was absolutely brilliant that night. And we thought we had probably one of the best halfbacks in the league on our books. And I think it's safe to say we probably did. we just didn't get him on the pitch often enough. And that's probably the biggest sort of shame of all when it comes to Terry Campese and his career at Hull KR. He went on to represent Italy at international level as well, and he was definitely a really nice guy as well, which is something which is really, really nice to be able to say about him. So yeah, that's the 2016 home shirt. As I've said, one that I think people are probably a little bit too critical of, that they don't like or maybe they don't wear anymore based on what did happen with it. But the club is in a much better place now than it was during that 2016 season. And it is a shirt where every now and again I do pop it on because, it's something that I do quite like. Thank you very much for watching episode number 104. We're going to move on to 105 next, where I'm going to cover a shirt from the 1980s. So yeah, exciting. Give you that little nugget there, a little bit of something to look forward to. So yeah, come back in another couple of weeks and I'll be back with episode number 105. Thank you very much for watching. See you again soon. Bye for now.